Roman Reigns in the ring. We got apparently a special segment with him and The Rock tonight because they said they would both be on SmackDown. Last 18 minutes, Roman's entrance takes about 5 by himself. I hope we get like the 2003 Rock theme when he comes out, the slower version of his theme. That would be fire. Look at the aura. I know, dude. Here's the thing. Roman right now is being overshadowed a bit by Rock's authority. So I hope that they do something to kind of either, play on that or build him back up, because at the presser or whatever that thing was, Rock was like the man in that bitch. And Roman was just kind of there. You know what I'm saying? He got little broed hard. Like, is Rock going to come out and interrupt him? Because Rock didn't enter with him. Here comes The Rock. The people lost their minds. Here they are on their feet. Now, Roman called him a member of the bloodline. Let's see if him and Rock still have issues going back and forth here. They didn't use the old theme. I wish they would have. But Rock comes out with I don't even know, is that Versace? Got a Jaguar on the back of it? It looks nice. He got the shades on. He's doing a little bit of the Hollywood Rock deal. But here's the thing. He's wearing a vest with no undershirt, looking jacked out of his mind, and you got Roman in a hoodie, dude. Honestly, I want to see The Rock take over the bloodline. I ain't gonna lie, because I need something for Roman to have to struggle with. I don't want them to be buddy-buddy just yet. Now, you got Rock positioned across the ring from Roman, and the bloodline all on one side and Rock on the other. Rock says that Utah broke an all-time attendance record. He's doing his authority thing. He's Mayor Rock right here. He's like, on behalf of TKO and the WWE, congratulations to us at management. Oh, he does it. Yep. Yeah, he goes after him. Says, y'all broke records for being trailer park trash. He said, finally, you and your 50 wives got a story to tell. He said, you can tell your 600 grandkids what it looks like to look at greatness in the face. That's unbelievable. So Rock cutting a promo. We have 3 minutes left in the show, dude. I have no idea what this is. So that's the end of the segment, man. Rock throws up the ones. Well, he's got a gun up. You got to put the thumb in, Rock. It's not this. You got to put that thumb back in there, dog. Okay. I mean, not what I expected at all. The entire logic of this promo is completely flawed from The Rock. You have on one hand him saying that Cody doesn't deserve his rematch with Roman at WrestleMania. Well, let's just set the scene. Rock comes out and he moves very slowly to the ring, because that's what everybody in the WWE does this day. You know what I'm saying? They walk very slowly, a 4 to 5 minute walk to the ring. He gets in there, and I honestly expected him to do more like shooting at Triple H, or I don't know, I wanted there to be a little bit more substance in that than, because I don't really know what should happen, to be honest. I don't really know what the point of that was, because there was nothing that The Rock said that we didn't already know. And then he tried to change history a bit, because he comes out and he talks to Roman and us, I guess, mostly by saying, hey, The Rock is in town, and listen up, all you Mormon inbreds. You don't get to do the sing-along with The Rock. Y'all need to shut up and sit down, because you and your 600 kids are going to experience greatness. And instead of going from that into, well, last week, the guy that thinks he really runs the show wanted to tell you guys he's in charge, but let's just take a look at 3 letters that mean more than the WWE, and he TKO or something, right? That would have been fire. So then, instead of doing that, he goes on this diatribe of sorts to tell everybody in the stands, and I guess at home, that everyone ruined the opportunity for him versus Roman Reigns, the biggest main event in all WrestleMania history, all because everyone's a bunch of crybabies. And again, I don't really know. This was something we already knew. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think that was the best Rock promo in a while? I thought it was a good promo. But I wanted a little more out of it. So Rock then continues just berating the religion of I don't even, is Mormonism a religion? I don't know. But just continues berating all Mormons around the world, and then goes into, I guess, what the whole point of the press, or the whole point of the deal was, which was to tell everybody that the bloodline was there to stay, and he and Roman were the biggest main event. But the biggest part of this, like I said, the entire promo, he calls Cody's logic flawed for getting his rematch versus Roman. And someone said this in chat, and I think this might be the way they're trying to paint this, or maybe it's just a potential idea that they are maybe stumbling upon, is that Rock painting himself, or painting The Rock, I guess, as a completely tone-deaf character, as if everything he says makes no sense at all, but it's because he has no idea what's going on with the WWE. It would make sense to do that with Rock, to just be like, well, whatever happened, doesn't really matter because I run things. But the problem is The Rock does know how the WWE works. He was a part of the WWF and E and understands what happens when you win the Royal Rumble. So for him to say Cody's logic is flawed because he got whipped the last year, discounting the fact that Cody won the Royal Rumble, which does give him the opportunity to choose who he wants to face in the main event of WrestleMania. That's the only thing that kind of gets me. It's like, yeah, okay, The Rock can be tone deaf, and he can be like, whatever, you want it, who cares? That I would be fine with. Yeah, Cody said it's time for him to finish his story, but I don't give a damn. Where he just essentially goes, fuck it. I don't care what Cody did. I'm doing this. But instead, he is acting like the Royal Rumble means nothing by just discounting it at all, which, again, is cool, whatever. But it's like, don't bring logic and all that into it because that's not, the logic says you're wrong. But anyway, he essentially makes a bunch of comparisons to sports. And he kept saying, in any other sport, where would you see this? And honestly, you would see this if the 49ers made it back to the Super Bowl and faced the Chiefs next year. It'd be the same deal. But all in all, I thought, listen, what we usually get from The Rock, which is like sidebar, offhand, Fred Flintstone, Fruity Pebbles, chicken nuggets jokes, and getting the crowd to chant, you're an asshole. This was good. This was good because it was now almost complete and direct confirmation that Rock is going full heel. I still don't know what kind of heel we're going to get because he's not necessarily Hollywood Rock, but he has a lot of elements of it. But he also has like some elements of corporate Rock as well, which I think he should lean into more, but that's just me. And I really wish we got a little bit more interaction between the two, like Rock and Roman talking to the people and the crowd, but maybe this is, again, their way of spinning this into Rock is the speaker and head of the bloodline. Maybe this can be traced all the way back to the Nation of Domination when Rock started taking over and speaking for the entire group. I don't know. You don't see any dissension right now. He put over Roman and said, my cousin whipped his ass last year, so why are we even doing this again? But I wanted to either see Rock pull rank on Triple H and be like, listen, it's cool that Triple H said that last week, but just like our entire career, I'm always one step ahead. And, talk about some of the TKO stuff or whatever. And make this back and forth continue to go on, but he kind of just accepted it there and was like, well, Cody's the main event, yada, yada, but we're still the bloodline. And it doesn't make sense. I don't know. I was a little confused at the end there. And a lot of people, like in my chat here, a lot of people are talking about the potential Avengers Endgame booking of WrestleMania where the entirety of the bloodline potentially gets involved and the entirety of the main event guys from the WWE with Seth and Cody and some in the past as well, probably like maybe a Stone Cold Steve Austin could come in at the end, like just mounds and mounds and mounds of people. Triple H is not going to be one of them because of his heart condition, but just throwing everything at this main event that they're going to get. Again, we don't even know what it's going to look like. Are they going to do a tag team on night one? They're moving this story along very slowly, which I am actually a fan of. I like a little bit of a slower pacing when you're doing this stuff because you don't want to give them too much too early. Give them, meaning the fans, too much too early, like us, because then we'll quit fantasy booking. You know what I'm saying? We won't start fantasy, but we'll quit. And we're like, oh, okay, well, there it is. But now it's just more talk. What's going to happen? What's this? So I think that we still have, and I saw Roman coming into the venue saying, hey, let's go fix everything Jay screwed up. So there's just a lot, dude. There's a lot. But long story short, Rock came out, I would say out of 10, I would give it a 6 or 7. Like, it was good. It's not the best Rock I think we're going to get, but that's his first time kind of back in front of the people, in the ring, cutting the promo in a heel sense. Like, he kind of wasn't obviously a heel versus gender in that promo, but in a heel sense, getting back into the flow, and I think he's just going to get stronger as we go. But there was The Rock's return promo as a new member of the bloodline, even though he shot the finger guns up versus just the one. He's got to work on that. But what happens next for The Rock? What happens next for the bloodline, WWE? We'll find out Monday, but for now, guess we'll find out.